What is going on, everybody? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global back here with another video. And in this one, we're going to continue talking about the Patriots preseason loss to the Texans by bringing back an old segment, something that I started when this channel first started. And you guys really seem to like it. My winners and losers. Now, if you guys liked this series, make sure you let me know by liking this video, one, and leaving a comment in the comment section telling me that you guys like this series. Because if you do, I'm thinking about doing it for the Patriots training camp this entire offseason as a whole, the winners and losers from then, and then also doing winners and losers for the entirety of the rest of the preseason, and also winners and losers for the entirety of the 2023 season. So if you want this to be a regular thing, make sure you guys let me know by leaving a like and again commenting in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's roll that Patriots Global intro and hop into my winners and losers from the game against the Texans. And my first winner, in fact, do I have a little graphic here for winners that I might have? Yes, my first winner. My first winner of, and we're going to get a better graphic at some point for this, but this will do for now. My first winner of this game was rookie second-round pick, Keon White. This man is a force to be reckoned with, an absolute force to be reckoned with. And he showed that even if the Patriots had selected him in the first round, that it still would have been worth it. Now, thankfully for them, they traded down. They got Christian Gonzalez. But the fact that in your first two rounds, you get two defensive playmakers for your future that you're building for, that's exactly what you want to see. We saw all offseason in training camp and then OTAs and mini camp that Keon White was showing out, especially in training camp. He was averaging 1 sack per practice. A lot of times we even heard that he was making tackles for loss in the backfield. But the question mark was, is he going to be able to keep it up when there's real contact? And is he going to be able to keep this up against an actual offensive line that can keep up? And the Texans' offensive line isn't bad. They've definitely improved, but it's definitely not the best the Patriots will go up against. But the fact that he was able to showcase that he can still make plays and get consistent pressure, even against an offensive line that isn't the Patriots, showed me that Keon White very much should have a role for this upcoming season. Now, how is he going to, just in terms of all the bodies we have from pass rushers and edge rushers? I'm not 100% sure, but from one preseason game, for him to play in multiple different defensive linemen, to me, was a massive takeaway because, again, he's a rookie. He's only been in the league for a couple of months now, and this is his first preseason game. Is able to make a massive tackle on the ball carrier that resorts in a forced fumble. I talked about this in my live stream. That is a type of play that not even a lot of veterans can make, because a lot of times you see that and you're going straight for the ball because the ball carrier drops it as soon as the handoff happens, picks it up, and that's when the fumble happened. Because Keon White didn't go for the ball, he went for the ball carrier in order to force that fumble. He played at edge. He played in the interior of the defensive line, and I thought he did really good in maintaining his edge when he did play there, in preventing quarterbacks from scrambling and being able to pick up the first down on him. He never lost leverage when he was playing the edge, and I thought that was a very big takeaway for me. So moving on, we got another winner on this list, and this one, let me check my notes, is going to be, yes, Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills, man, I mean, Patriots originally signed him back in 2021 to a massive contract. And we all thought, okay, he's probably someone that'll come in, be a rover, play some safety. He really didn't do that. He pretty much just played as a boundary cornerback for the Patriots. And that's not where he succeeds. He came off his best season with the Eagles that led to that big contract with the Patriots in 2021 because he played as a safety. He played in a rover role, but that's not how they utilized him. Now that Devin McCourty is gone, the Patriots drafted Christian Gonzalez. They have bodies at corner. They can actually do this now with Jalen Mills. And this was our first opportunity at seeing how Jalen Mills was going to perform in this new role. And let me tell you, he did not disappoint. He played in that exact rover role, that jack of all trades, a joker role that we've been asking for. He played at free safety. He played at a couple of different alignments at safety. He played nickelback also. That nickelback position he played was actually the play he made to stop the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage. That was one of two big plays he made. The other one was obviously early on against CJ Stroud in the first quarter, being able to get an interception off of him, playing in that Devin McCourty safety role. So I'm very excited to see more of Jalen Mills in this position. To me, it's a little bit of a hot take, but he's easily one of my top 3 breakout players for the Patriots this season, as long as he can stay healthy. Massive underline on the as long as he can stay healthy. Now, I'm going to just get through the winners of this, and then we're going to get on to the losers. I was going to go back and forth, but I think it's easier if we just go straight down the list. My next winner, no one's going to be surprised about this one. Malik freaking Cunningham, welcome to the NFL. He proved that realistically, the Patriots probably should have just kept him at quarterback, because Cunningham did not play any quarterback for the Patriots this offseason. The last couple days of training camp, he played a little bit more quarterback, but through OTAs, mini camp, and the majority of training camp, he played as a wide receiver for the Patriots. Interestingly enough, he actually played as a wide receiver in this game. Malik Cunningham played a lot more in this game than a lot of people realized. He played wide receiver the first half. He comes out into the fourth quarter, and that's when he's given the opportunity to play quarterback. To me, he was the most interesting thing to watch this entire game. And if the preseason is going to be at least a little bearable, other than watching Mac Jones and the starters, you got to give me more Malik Cunningham. And not as a wide receiver, but as a quarterback. And I think it's going to be really hard for him to be on this Patriots roster if he doesn't make the 53. Because if the Patriots release him, they try to revert him back to the 53, or they try to revert him back to the practice squad, I think that there's a very good chance that there is a team who needs at least a quality backup quarterback, or a team that has questionable area with their starter. Maybe they're injured or they're just playing bad, and they say, I'm going to take a flyer here on Malik Cunningham. I think if they release him, ultimately Malik Cunningham is gone. And especially after performing the way he did, he was the reason the Patriots had any offensive success. In fact, if we go ahead and look at his statistics here as I pull them up, he led the Patriots second in terms of quarterbacks. And again, he came in during the fourth quarter. It went Bailey Zappi for the first half to about half to about 3 quarters, because he came out into the third quarter, played a little bit also. So he did play a majority of this game. And then Trace McSorley was given an opportunity. That's when I think the game was the most boring. And then about in the fourth quarter, that's when Malik Cunningham came in and just dominated. In fact, his statistics would have been the best out of all these quarterbacks if he was given the entire game to play. Understandably, he wasn't, but if he had been, he would have been the best quarterback. He finishes the day 3 out of 4 passes, should have been 4 for 4 with a long touchdown to Trey Nixon if he doesn't have Butterfingers, finishes with a total of 19 yards passing, and finished with the second highest QBR just behind Bailey Zappi. Also was able to lead the Patriots in rushing, also with 5 carries, 34 yards, and 1 touchdown. And he was the reason the Patriots had their lone touchdown, punching it into the end zone towards the end of the game. He was a lot of fun to watch. He's going to get a lot of praise right now. No reason he should be the starter, okay? So if you're screaming for Cunningham to be over Mac as a starter, calm down. We're not that far. It's not what this is. But I think the Patriots should definitely keep using him as a quarterback, because there is a role on this team for him, not as a starter. Honestly, I don't even think as a second-string quarterback, but definitely some type of role for him on this roster, even if it is as a scout team quarterback. And then my last winner, before we get on to a couple of losers in this one, is going to be Demario Douglas. You're probably listening to me and saying, Demario Douglas, Patriots goal, he didn't play. I think he fielded 1 punt and fair caught it. Yeah, he did. But it's the fact that he didn't play, which is why he's a winner. I was very excited to head into this game seeing these rookie wide receivers, especially Demario Douglas, but even Keon White. Keon White was in there a good amount, got open a good amount too, but because of the offensive line issues, didn't get to see him. He's a talk for another day, though. Demario Douglas, on the other hand, and I'll be curious to see the offensive snaps, see just how much he played, but he really was not on the field. The only opportunities he was given was very limited sample size, again, as a returner, the only area he needed. And before the game, Bill Belichick said that the guys that were going to play were the guys who were least experienced. And we all know the guys who also play in the preseason, the majority of the time, are the guys who are fighting to make a roster spot. The fact that Belichick didn't think Douglas needed any true opportunities and experience on offense heading into his transition to the NFL and just gave him a little bit on special teams should showcase that he really is a roster lock at this point, but just showcases really all of the hype that he's gotten this offseason and just how much he truly does deserve it. It doesn't show up on the stats board, but he is an absolute winner from this game. Now, heading on to my losers, my first one here is going to be, unfortunately, where is it? Rodney Randall. Rodney Randall played a terrible game. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He really is the reason that all three quarterbacks for the Houston Texans were able to get some type of success against the Patriots. It was a rough day for him. You know, he didn't record strong open field tackling in the third quarter. You would hope as a 6-foot cornerback that he would do a little bit better, especially against somebody like Tank Dell, who is, a little bit smaller than Rodney Randall is, but unfortunately was not able to. Tank Dell absolutely did whatever it was that Tank Dell wanted. And we actually just came out, as I speak, with some of the stat lines here from this game coverage-wise. So I want to give you Rodney Randall's statistics from this game real quick. Let me pull those up to back up exactly what I'm saying. So Rodney Randall played 22 coverage snaps. He was targeted 9 times. That was more than any other Patriots defensive back in this game, but targeted 9 times, 7 receptions allowed, 70 yards allowed, 1 touchdown allowed, and allowed a passer rating of 136.1. It really does not get much worse than that. We didn't think he was going to make the roster anyway, but it's pretty much solidified to me at this point that Rodney Randall is not going to make this team. And then to head off today's video, my last loser, it's no specific player, but it's the Patriots offensive line. Every concern we had about this offensive line showed up in this game. And yes, 4 out of 5 starters are not going to be playing come regular season, right? David Andrews, Mike Onwenu, Cole Strange, Trent Brown, all of those guys obviously were not playing in this game. Obviously, those guys will be playing, cross your fingers, come week 1. So it is still a very different offensive line that we saw in this game compared to what we're going to see. But nonetheless, this is your backup offensive line. And unfortunately, we've seen issues with David Andrews and his health over the last couple of years. We've seen issues with Trent Brown over his entire career with staying healthy. And none of these guys, aside of Antonio Mafi, showed me that they could be reliable pieces. Not even veteran center / guard James Ferentz. That's concerning. And it's really the fact that this entire game was as boring as it was the offense's inability to move down the field and barely pick up a first down for the first half of the game, for the first 2 to 3 quarters of this game because of the offensive line. Bailey Zappi, Trace McSorley, even Malik Cunningham, they never had time to throw. The reason that Malik Cunningham was more successful than these other quarterbacks was because of how athletic he is. He was able to escape pressure. He was running more times than he was actually given opportunities to throw, but he was able to escape the pressure and extend the plays. That's why he was able to give this offense more success than the other pure pocket passing quarterbacks in Zappi and Trace McSorley. The Patriots offensive line absolutely needs to get better. It was rough, absolutely rough for them. Whether it was protecting the quarterback or even opening up run blocks, I don't know how this offense is going to have success this upcoming season if we cannot have at least a middle-of-the-pack offensive line. I don't care if they want to pass the ball. I don't care if they want to run the ball. It doesn't matter what we want to do. This offensive line will prohibit us from having any type of success. The Patriots running game combined for a total of 35 yards on 18 carries, mostly because of the inconsistencies in front of them. We don't even know what we have from Pierre Strong and Kevin Harris because the offensive line can't block for them. But that's going to be it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on my winners and losers from this game? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video. And of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. I appreciate you guys for watching as always. And never forget, guys, go Pats.